Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Project Veterans Voices. You got to see it right here, new intro. I don't know if you guys caught on to that. I put it together. Hopefully it's all right, but we got a new intro. But hey, we're going to have a fireside chat. We're going to have a good chat. I'm looking forward to it. But if there's something you can do for me is go to this website, thelostart.podbean.com. Go check us out, see what we're all about. There's a couple ways you can help support us. You can go in there, click on that merchandise tab. You can go in there, get you some cool merchandise. You can get you a hat. You can get you a shirt. You can get you all kinds of good stuff. You can get you a little mug. You can get you all kinds of goodies in there. But anything you get out of there helps us here at the podcast and getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. Big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project out there doing amazing things. If you don't know anything about them, go check them out. Even if you do, check them out again. I'm telling you, they're a great organization. They do amazing work. So please go find them at tillvalhallaproject.com.
Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps Veteran Service Organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member.
All right. We are back, man. We got everybody here. I'm excited, man. We got Jim coming back. Jim, how you doing?
Okay, thank you. Glad to be back.
That's awesome. I like your hat there, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
There. Yeah, that's a good hat. And if you haven't heard Jim's story, man, you need to go hear it. You got to go back, check it out. He tells a great story. So I don't know. And I think he had a good time doing it as well.
Yes, I did.
Whenever he was on. Yeah. He said he's been trying to get other people to come on and tell their stories. So, Jim, how easy was it to come on and tell your story?
It was extremely easy. In fact, in my February bulletin, I put in some comments about if they have reached out to you and participated, I was hoping to get their feedback to see how it was thoroughly enjoyable. Nice. It was easy. You made it very comfortable. No problems.
Nice. Well, hey, you hear that out there, everybody? Yeah, come on, come and tell your story.
You're preserving your story. And I had a Marine friend of mine just tell me he's actually the commandant of my detachment, and he said, "I don't have an interesting story to tell you." And I said, "Yeah, you do. We all have different stories, but we have stories to tell, no matter what you did."
So. Yeah, I always say, if you went to boot camp, you got stories. Because I'm telling you, everybody got stories on their drill instructors. You know, we can sit here all night long talking about boot camp and all the shenanigans that have happened. But just that alone, you've got enough stories. And and the time flies by. I was doing an interview today, and the gentleman I was interviewing, he's like, oh, it's probably going to be about 20, 30 minutes. An hour and 40 minutes later, he's like, oh, my God, we've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm like, yeah, it goes by quick. You get to talking, and it just flows, you know. All right. Jess, man, how are you doing? Hey, I would say in the Great White North, but now I'm in the Great White South. So how are things up there?
We're exporting it to everybody.
Is that nice?
Enjoy this winter.
Yeah.
We have enough to
very
share.
Friendly.
We have enough to share.
Yeah.
It's warming up to above 0 tomorrow, so we're digging that.
Ooh, hey.
23, I guess. I'm looking at the thing, but yeah, I was looking at the wind chills the other day. It was like my hometown was like 54 below 0 wind chill. I'm like, that's gross. But I don't live up north anymore, so. And then summer it was like 47, and it was just like tick 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 tick. It's like, oh yeah, I recognize that.
You know, it's bad when you're saying I don't live up north anymore. So, it's really bad. You know.
Yeah, it's winter. It's January. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah.
No, football's on. Boring game this afternoon with Denver and New England. That was expected. But
the Patriots won, right? Isn't that what you said, Jim, earlier? Patriots won?
Yeah. If they would have lost, that would have been hilarious, though. But whatever. But no, it's winter in South Dakota, so you get what you get.
Yeah. All right. Well, we heard from the Great White North. Let's hear from the Great White even further south. Vic, how are you doing?
So all my Midwestern friends there, your storm is acting all drunk in my backyard, and I'm gonna need you to come get it. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get snow, but it just started. The sky just opened up, and it's gonna rain for the rest of the night, I think. So
Nice.
yeah, luckily, let's see what's going on. I just finished a bunch of woodworking projects. The last of my 5 displays got delivered today, so they're off my bench finally. So very happy to be done with those because it's time to start arranging music. I got a crap ton of music to arrange, so I need to get started on that. So probably after this podcast is done, I'm going to spend the next hour or so before I go to bed, like starting to arrange, get some things set up on my music writing program. But yeah, it's been a good time. Not riding much because of all the foul weather, and after the rain passes, the cold front's behind it, so the highs are going to be the lows are going to be down into the teens and 20s, and then the highs are going to be in the high 30s. So not as close as not as cold as up north, I know, but it's cold for us down here.
It's not a competition, man. I'm just saying, winter sucks.
Yeah, but
hey, Jess is trying to share with you, man. He's trying to share.
I appreciate your giving attitude, but you can keep it, man. Seriously. But other than that, life is good. We're just get to go play drums and guitar for a living. So how bad can it be?
Nice. Well, we know good and well that next person we talk to is out there, and it is freezing cold. It's got to be at least 56 below. It has to be out there in California. Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing outstanding. Yeah, it dropped down. I went to the gym this morning, walked outside, it's like 39 degrees. It's like, dang, what the heck? And then, so bad, it only got to about 72 today. It's like, what? Man, this global, this climate change, just, I can't understand it. Can't understand. It's horrible. It's horrible out here.
How are you making it, man? I don't know.
I don't know. You see, I got a little jacket on right now.
Oh my gosh. Even having to pull the jackets up, man. Yeah, it's rough out there.
Once the sun rough. It was bright and sunny, but once that sun goes down, it gets cold out here.
Yeah. You got some long johns that you can put on.
I haven't went that far yet.
No. Okay. Well,
I haven't visited Iowa for a while in the winter, so
I bet you it's a little different there.
Why would you visit Iowa in the winter?
I'm sure that's where I have a nephew. He's leaving Iowa tomorrow morning and heading out west for a little warmth. So he's going to come visit me on Thursday.
Nice. Got a visitor, man. I don't know. He probably won't be able to handle the weather out there. I mean, hopefully he'll be all right.
I'm sure he will.
Oh man. Well, we had Jim on a couple weeks back. We had some good discussions, I think, and you're back again, Jim. We're going to talk some more. What do we have in store for us tonight, Jim?
We're going to talk about having plans for when we die, so that we don't leave our significant other out in the cold as far as not knowing what the heck to do. And I've seen far too many veterans, including some very, very close friends that I've helped bury in the last 2 or 3 years, who actually listened to my presentation, and yet their spouse had no idea what to do, panicked, and was calling me. And so we had to help. In all these cases, it was a woman's spouse, so helping her through the difficulty, and what records to get, what you need. In fact, in one case, we helped her get the coroner's results changed, which can only be done by the spouse. Was actually able to go in, talk, and get it changed, which got her the dependent indemnity compensation, which is that $1,600 plus dollars a spouse will get if their significant other husband dies as a result of their injuries, illnesses, or they've lived at least 10 years. When we talked a couple of weeks ago, we talked about that 10-year rule and why legislation is so important for us to follow. And there's just countless examples of that. So tonight we're going to talk about some of the things. I started putting this program together in 2022.
Okay.
And it was called something different back then. But the Marine Corps League for Pennsylvania, State Marine Corps League, asked me to do a presentation for all the state officers. So I did that. We kept it to an hour. And then later on, they asked me if I would do it and have it filmed for the Marine Corps League, which we did. So it's on YouTube now for people who want to, use it. But I figured we'd talk about this because, and when I talk to elderly people and everything else, we think we're going to live forever. My neighbor across the street, Bob, 46 years old, just before Christmas last year, died sitting on his couch, had a massive heart attack.
Wow.
And left his young wife and 3 very young children not knowing what the heck to do. So, hopefully we get some information, and what information we get, as always, do we share it with other people? Because as I always say, there's strength in sharing information and learning from one another. All of you will have different things that you may or may not be able to add in tonight's discussion or any of the discussions we have on these podcasts. So that's what we'll be talking about.
Awesome. Well, when you're looking at all this, what is kind of the most important thing that you want to get across? Like, what is it that that the listener, whoever that may be, but whether it be the veteran themselves or a spouse, like, what's the most important thing to get across to them tonight?
You need to have it organized and either in written format or some format that's readily accessible to the spouse. And if you have adult children, like both of my sons, I have a 54-year-old Navy son, and then I have a 46-year-old son. And they both know where the information is. It's in a file. It's about 4 inches thick, and it has everything in order for my wife, exactly what she needs. They know how to get into the safe. They know what to look for. I have 3 veteran friends. One happens to be a chapter service officer. So if there's any problems with my death, that they can help her. And I make sure I update it, because one of the people I had on that list died 2 years ago. So I had to put a different name on her. So just making sure that people know where it's at. One of my best friends, he served with the Walking Dead in Vietnam. Billy. He died 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And Billy heard my story. I mean, we talked a lot. We were close friends. And when he died, his wife was in shock, first of all, because she lost her husband, but had no idea what to do. And so we helped her. We actually got his death certificate changed.
I'd back it up a little bit, Jim, because honestly, the first step you got to have is a conversation about it, because that's where a lot of this is failing. You can have the best plan, but if nobody talks about it and you don't actually talk through the plan or what you want, it's not going to go anywhere. And that's where a lot of the hangups have been lately, is they never had the conversation, because death is depressing and scary, but it's inevitable. Something about taxes and the other thing, but I mean, we've had like significant problems we run into is like there's been just they never even talked about it, so we're starting from scratch.
Wow.
So
even though they may have had a plan, but nobody talked about it, so
well, updating it too,
execute it.
And
my wife just got done doing this.
And your brain's jumbled. Think about it. If I died suddenly, my wife has left me for 56 years now. But she's going to be in shock.
Yeah.
She's going to be worried about all these things that, in panic mode and everything else.
Yeah, good
Like
point.
I'm a calm, methodical person, so I can methodically work through things. But not all people can do that. And even being methodical, it's better if it's in writing so I can go back and revisit it.
That's very true.
So my
Now,
wife
when
and I
you
just
say
finished
in
our
writing,
estate plan.
sorry, go ahead, Jess.
There's estate planners, estate planning.
Mhm.
This is an entire profession of lawyers. So you can play it's all in the packet, and they walk you through the entire thing. So you can talk about probate versus not probate. You put it into a trust or special needs trust, because I have a daughter on the spectrum. So there's the entire plan and how it falls in. It's just step by step by step by step. There's an entire process you can go through.
Real quick, Jim, are you talking when you say write it all down? Are you talking like a will, that type of thing?
A will's good.
Yeah.
And
there's the entire packet.
Just a whole lot of things. I have my 3 insurance policies. I have 3 different insurance policies, and all 3 of them I have in the very front of the packet. That has the telephone number to call. It has the ID. It has the actual things, forms that I signed and everything else, how much money would be coming, et cetera, et cetera. So she has all 3 of those are there. She doesn't have to go through my 4-drawer file cabinet and start searching for it. It's all in one manila envelope, or if it takes two, whatever. And then you have to revisit it periodically because some things change. And even with estate planning and visiting the funeral homes, because they're very helpful too, if they're good, helping you if you're a veteran, but it's still good to have other bits of information. Social Security number. You need to notify the Social Security company, or you're gonna get a bill due for overpayment of a deceased spouse. Did you notify the military, the VA? All these things. I mean, there's a methodical way of handling all that, and people need to be prepared.
Even cell phone, by the way.
What's that?
That was like, even cell phones. My old man, his cell phone plan, we had to send a no shit original death certificate to Verizon. He's like,
no kidding.
It's a contract.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought about that. That's wild.
Yeah,
we went through this. It's interesting how many death certificates you're going to need. Banks, insurance policies. I think we printed off. I think we had 10 of them, and they're all certified, so they got to come from the records office. But there's just a million things you just didn't think about.
Yeah, so I mapped that out even as far as the key people for most of us to call and why you need to call them. And if you don't want to have people call you, how to take care of that as well. So there's a whole lot of things, even beyond the DD-214, your real estate deed and all those things. By the way, my real estate, we own our home, and my DD-214 is filed with Chester County, and they have a copy of it. They have the original. They give you copies of it, so you can have your own copy. But if you misplace it, there's one right there.
Yeah.
And it's just smart planning, because again, people, especially when you have children, even adult children. My sons, years ago, I told them, like, when I died, I wanted to be turned into a block and thrown into the ocean. And they said, how are we going to visit you? And I said, rent scuba gear. But they were appalled, because you could become part of the coral reef. We can turn you into necklaces now. We can turn you into anything you want. I mean, the cost of an urn for both my wife and I are going to be cremated and buried at the Washington Crossing National Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
So even the planning for that takes time. What kind of funeral do you want? I want something similar to a wake, where people celebrate. Some people say a celebration of life. The hell with this stuff. Mourning me, I'm dead. I told my sons, because they can't think of my wife marrying someone. I told her, I already told them. I said, let your mom mourn for about 6 months, and then let her go out and get laid. I'm dead. God forbid. She should be able to live her life. She loved me. I'm dead.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right.
Whatever you want to have done. Do you want to be? You could be now a natural bury. They now have plans where you can be basically laid in a sheet and put into the ground like the old burials used to be, which going back more to the ecological ways of dying and burials. Or you can have extravagant you could be buried in a car, if you have a private lot, all those type of things. So what do you want to, how do you want to die? What kind of service? I want the 60s and 50s music playing.
Nice.
I want the Platters playing in the background. I want the Drifters, the Shirelles singing Soldier Boy, that type of music. Earth Angel.
Yeah.
All that type of stuff. I don't want a service mass. I don't want a clergy member there. I just want, if people want to talk, if my sons want to talk, that's fine. If they don't want to, because you only have a half hour at a VA National Cemetery to go through the whole litany of things, including taps and, all those things. So, it has to be organized.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
One of the things we learned about the VL when we're working with the Veterans Legacy Memorial is you can do your pre-needs right now. So I filled out my pre-needs for the Veteran Cemetery, and it took about a day to get authorized. And then they send you it, and it's like, you got your plot, which a lot of vets aren't doing right away because they pass on. And then they start thinking about, then the family's trying to figure out where they're going to get a plot. And we've seen some we've seen some horror stories out here where there's a kid that we didn't even know existed. He committed suicide down at the university. And the local town sold him like the gold plated plot, the stone. The funeral home explained how the family's going to get the SGLI. So they basically ratted this kid and his family up to the tune of about 15 to 20K. And then we were coming in on the other end of it, and we're talking about going to war with them because we're going to try and start pulling licenses, because we make urns, we make caskets, and we got a free veteran cemetery, and they basically just ran this family out for about 20K. So I like to start coming after licenses at that point, because that was uncalled for.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Now at a national cemetery, that cost is
zero.
Nil. Yeah, it's you have to pay for the transfer of the casket or the remains to the site and everything else, and what type of urn do you want, and that type of things. But there's most of the other things, like if my wife dies before me, the little stone there will have her name on the plaque, and then she's in the front. Once I die, they flip the plaque around, and my name's on the front, and her name is on the other side of it.
Interesting. Okay.
If I die first, and I'm there, and then when she dies, she goes on the back side of the little plaque that you have. The flags and all those type of things. But
we also got a bunch of retired guys here that make urns and caskets at a wood shop, and it's called Veterans Honor and Interment. So they're free.
Yeah,
they're a bunch of old guys who just like to work with wood. So
where's that out of?
Sioux Falls.
Is it really? Hey, you gotta get them on here sometime.
They're great guys. They're hilarious too. And then the VFW and the American Legion Auxiliaries, they do the liners for the caskets too, but they're free to the veteran service officers in the counties. So the reality is, it's its own little thing, but it's pretty interesting watching these guys work. And they got donated wood. I mean, it's cherry, it's maple, you name it. Vic, I guess you like to work with wood. There's a lot of guys who love to do this, but making urns, they get the dimensions for the columbariums, and then they just make them. So,
and some of the other things. Have you created a bucket list for living? Do you have things that you still want to do while you're alive? Is there places you want to go to? Is there things that you want to do with your life? Those type of things. Have you left letters? I have a letter for each of my 2 grandsons, my granddaughter, the things that they will get. I have one for my wife that'll talk a little bit more about the things she wanted to know while I was alive that I wouldn't tell her if she was interested. So I have that, and all those type of letters.
I wrote one to the Minnesota Vikings. Just let me down one more time. Okay, that's all I'm asking.
The password. Here's another one. The passwords.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This is my book with my passwords in it. And there must be about 10 pages with all the different passwords on it.
I can't keep up with my passwords. She knows how to
get into my TIA craft, Social Security, all those things. It's written right down there for her, everything that she needs to know. Do you have a special prayer or poem that you want said at your service? Do you want songs? Do you want to I don't want a service. I don't want clergy involved whatsoever. What funeral home do you want to use? Have you made an agreement with that? Have you talked about it? Because that's still going to cost some money, especially if you're, for your spouse and everything else. What do you want inscribed on your headstone? That's something to think about. When I went to the Marine Corps Museum at Quantico, I got a stone for my brother who was a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps before me. We got one for him, and it was placed there, and we have one for me.
And that's up there.
Do you have it in a waterproof safe? And where's the combinations? My two sons and my wife know I have 3 different locations where they're at. So they should be able to stumble back on them. And it's in that folder in my safe. So that you can get access to that.
So the estate planner, when we're going through ours, he made a joke, but it's kind of real. It's how much I actually paid for the guns versus what I told my wife I paid for the guns. So that's in an envelope and it's sealed and I signed across it. So this is an open in case I'm gone, but don't count on what I told you I spent on those because they don't make $50 Glocks. I'm just going to say that out loud.
Well,
they are.
Regarding all my
legally.
all my handguns, I already gave my 45 to my youngest son. He wanted it. My youngest brother gave it to me before he died. I already gave my oldest son my crossbow because he lives in Rome, New York, and they're not allowed to have handguns. So I gave him the crossbow. And each of my grandsons and my granddaughter have a gun that'll be given to them. So, those type of things. If you purchased life insurance, where's it at, et cetera, et cetera. If you don't have any, you should. My dad, I was actually an insurance agent at the time. I sold weekly premiums. He really shouldn't have had an insurance policy because he was diabetic. He had extremely high blood pressure. I wrote him a policy. He canceled it. My wife and my mom ended up with nothing. She had to immediately go to work because my dad didn't leave her with 1 cent. Nothing.
All right, I'm going to kind of come back on that one right now. Okay, because this is a long conversation. This is an hour. I'm going to save you from my weekend. Get a financial planner who actually is a financial planner, because I was getting ready to buy a 20-year policy this weekend, and he's like, stop it. It does not make sense for you to do this. The premiums are actually going to balloon up to the point where it's cost prohibitive at a certain point. Figure out where you're sitting with your financial plan before you start buying life insurance.
Yep.
Because that is something a lot of guys are doing, is they're not talking financial plans. They're talking, I'm going to buy an insurance policy, and that's going to be like the death lottery. Just there's a balance there. And if you actually talk to a professional who knows what they're doing, this is something that I highly recommend. That's because I was getting ready to make a big mistake.
Now, for example, if you're younger, it's the whole life policies because they remain the same for most of the time. Term life policy, as you get older, I'm 76 now. If I went to buy a term life policy, it's going to cost me a fortune to get a decent term life policy. So all those things.
Or you can balance it until you look at your retirement when your retirement starts kicking in. So that's where there's a lot
you have to do
this.
That earlier. You can't do that late in life. That becomes much more difficult.
Yeah.
But
making
certified
sure
financial planners.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Make sure when you go to the hospital, if you have a disability, you have everything on there that you have. Every time I had something added, I made sure that it was recorded in my medical records. So I'm right now 100% IU, individual unemployability. But since the time I became individual unemployability in 2016, May 24th of this year, that expires. It doesn't matter what happens to me after May 24th. How I die, I could get hit by a bus and my wife would get her her DIC. But all those things I had, hypertension, diabetes type 2, the fact that I've used a CPAP for 12 years, I'm obese, all those type of things, all connected with Agent Orange, coronary artery disease. Those have all been added. So in case I had died from one of those things, they're included. And again, I think it's important to have some veteran friends or other friends that you have who you trust to help your wife or your spouse through those difficult times. It's really reassuring to have someone who knows you help them through that. Your DD 214, as I said before, all those records. If you're a member of a veterans organization, who to contact. My wife knows who to contact. If I want to be buried with or cremated and have a ceremony, with I want Marines at my funeral. I mean, at my burial. That's just simply my preference. You can have whoever you want, but let's see.
And asking for active duty personnel or, I guess reservist, active duty, whatever, to come in and do it. Or do you want like the Marine Corps Leaguers, or do you want, something of that nature that come out?
Who exactly do you want to have do that?
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of the Veterans Service Record? Do you have the Veterans VA claim number? Because you only have X amount of time to notify them. Your Social Security number, GI insurance, if any, marriage certificate, copy of the death certificate. I really recommend that you have several of those because they go quickly.
Especially if you're having to send them off to your cell service, things like that.
You can have pre-burial certification determination if you wish through the VA. I have my number. Now, they don't guarantee you a plot at the National Cemetery. They're not going to say you're going to have this plot. It just depends on when you die and everything else. But my wife and I both filed for, you don't have to do this. The funeral homes can do a lot of that for you, but we already have it done. We already have the predetermination of need for burial and we met the qualifications for the VA National Cemeteries. And there's a form, it's called VA Form 40-10007. If you need something like that. Death notification. I have the telephone number for Social Security, the Veterans Administration, the Defense Finance and Accounting Service, Office of Personnel Management, State Department of Motor Vehicles, financial companies, credit merchant cards, banks and savings and loans. When my mom died a number of years ago, my two brothers that were both living at the time and I gathered at her home where she rented along with my wife. She had just a limited amount of money in the checking account at her bank. She didn't trust banks. You know where she had money? She had over $7,000 sewn into her outfits that she wore at one of the hospitals where she pushed the gurneys.
Yeah.
She worked there. She had over several thousand, and my wife figured it out. She said, Jim, think about your mom and how she didn't trust banks. Where does she have the money? So she started filling through the clothing, $7,000 in cash.
Wow.
So
I mean, that is pretty smart, though. I would have never thought to look there.
Yeah. So it's, pension providers, financial planners, stockbrokers, mortgage companies and lenders, banks and credit unions, insurance, disability insurer, automotive insurer, credit reporting services. All those things are important to have.
Yeah.
Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, memberships. What memberships do you have? Some of them recycle every year and you're going to get a bill for.
Yeah.
Do not contact list. For $1, you can list a deceased name on a deceased do not contact list. I was getting mail from my deceased mom about 5 years after she died. You can stop that. Credit reporting, notifying the VA of death. Really important, because if that payment keeps coming in, somewhere along the line, it's going to come home. Let me see what
now, Jim, I know you've got your list there that you're reading from, but is there a place that you have this like online where people can go and find it?
I absolutely do. It's just like my Veterans Bulletin. By the way, did any of you get it? Or did you?
I did. Yeah.
Like it? You didn't get it?
I got it. I don't know.
Whoever contacted me, I sent them out in January. So if you didn't get it, you need to recontact me, because anyone who's asked, but I have one. It's called What If. Basically, what I'm glancing, I'm not reading because there's too much here. There's about 12 pages, I think. But anyway, I'll send it to you.
So they just reach out through the email, right?
At Ulinski705@gmail.com. Again, if you're not a member of the Bulletin, which is free, and just like our program we're involved with today, there's 2 other programs out there as well that you can get involved with. Let's see here. Look at your end of life wishes. How do you want to die? Do you want extra measures taken to save your life if needed? I don't. I don't need to be intubated. I don't need someone cracking my chest open if I'm dead, and all those things.
Right.
So do you have that listed? Trusts, wills, all those things. Let me see if the first question I typically do if I'm doing an actual presentation, I have them write down. I would have people typically say, what have you done to prepare for your death? And most of the people, when I did the Marine Corps League, most of the people didn't write a whole lot. So what do you have? What have you done now? What will you do after we're done talking? And if you can send me the your request, I'll send you more information. It's not rocket science. It's just staying organized.
Yeah.
And moving to methodically handle it.
Wow. It is stuff. This is stuff that most people don't even think about until it's happened.
Yeah.
I remember, luckily enough, I had asked my dad before I knew it was coming right when he was, getting sick and everything. And I was able to sit down and say, hey, what do you want? Do you want a certain person there at the service? Do you want, the rifle bearer? Do you want this? Do you want that? And I was able to go through a lot of the stuff. Now, I didn't have a list like you're talking about, which I wish I would have, because that would have been come in handy. But getting a head start on it is incredibly important, and had that little bit of head start on it that I had with my dad. If I didn't have that, man, we'd have been in a world of hurt.
Yeah. And again, you can change this over. Obviously, if the person's not a veteran, a family member, you just alter some of the things that you wouldn't be using, the DD-214, things like that, but still help them plan. My 54 and 46-year-old sons, I made sure they at least have the life insurance policies. They have all of that. And we've talked about it. And it's typical when you talk to your sons, they think I'm going to live forever. And that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to die.
That's true.
In fact, I thought I was going to die at 18. So then I thought I would be dead before 25. Then I thought I would be dead before 35. I never in my life dreamed I'd be 76 years old and still hanging in here.
Yeah.
I'm going
doing
wow.
really well.
And I said I was ready to go 30 years ago. But,
Yeah.
And I'm not suicidal or anything else, but I said, I've lived a good life, so I want my wife to have a decent life after I live. I don't want her to live like my mom did.
Mm-hmm.
She lived for us.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So, comments from any of you?
Say that one more time.
I said, any comments?
Oh, I was just gonna say, definitely everybody needs to shoot you an email and ask for that. I mean, even if it's just to glance at, I think it's important because it's gonna strike it and it's gonna say, hey, I need to do this. And once they see it, and just like you're talking about it now, as you mentioned something, I'm like, yeah, I need to do that. Oh, yeah, I need to do that. Like every time you're saying something new, that's what I'm thinking.
Or Jesse, he made some suggestions.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's very important.
I think he's trying to say something.
He's on mute.
I'm going to unmute now.
Oh, okay.
Give everybody at least 2 weeks, because there's this giant push in the family to get them in the ground as fast as you can. So if somebody passes on a Monday, they're trying to get them in the ground by the weekend. Buying flight tickets or trying to get anything going, give everybody at least a couple weeks or a month, because that's, especially if you've been around and you got tight units and you're spread across America, just give us a chance to get there.
That's a good point.
I had a friend of mine pass over a holiday, and it was get him in the ground as fast as possible. Like, well, we didn't find out until a week after. It's just, we're all around the world. So by the time you get a chance, it's like, okay, I'm not driving to Florida in the middle of winter. It's just not trying to make this a twofer here. But tell the family to give everybody a couple weeks. That's what I'm going to say.
That's pretty smart. Especially the younger, I would say the younger that you are, I think that's becomes even more important. Because there are people spread all. I mean, you look at people, the younger generation still working, still out there, doing the daily grind. Well, they're going to have to take time off work. They're going to have to, they got to plan for this stuff. So
and then there's
very, very true.
You can't always make everyone comfortable with what you do. Here's an example. If you're at the end of life, so let's say you're in the hospital dying. I want to die at home, hopefully, but I'm in the hospital dying. And they say, my sons are there, and they say, well, are we going to intubate, or are we going to allow him to pass away a little bit more peacefully, or even removing medications? We had we were the legal guardians of a young lady who was 64. We buried last year. She died, and the last year of her life, she was through so many hospitals. She was what we call intellectually and developmentally disabled. Okay. Wow. And so we were her legal guardian. We had to set up a date for the service at the cemetery. One of my sons wasn't happy with the day we selected, but we were trying to allow not only for my sons to come if they wanted to, which they did, but also for the people who lived in the home where she resided. Because she didn't live with us. We were just her guardians, and we saw her frequently. So trying to arrange that. Or if the person's dying and then you have disagreement between the spouse and the children, adult children many times, saying, well, we don't want that. We think you should intubate him. We think you should try to keep him alive forever. And it may not be what the person, I always tell people, you have your life to live. I have my life to live. I want to choose, if I can, how I die. Not having anyone else choose how I want to die.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And that's
absolutely
tough to people.
Yeah. And these are all, tough conversations for a lot of folks, but it's a conversation that needs to be had. It's a conversation, like, the individuals need to sit down and decide and figure out what is the plan, even though it may be a tough conversation. And the earlier you do it, the better. And then all you got to do is just update it as time goes on.
Yeah. And like Jesse said, you could plan better for things that are going to be cheaper many times when you do it earlier in life than when you get older in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Wow. Man, that's a lot of food for thought tonight. Holy moly. That's awesome.
Yeah, we just got done doing this. So you got the estate plan put together.
That's good.
You have to go visit it every 5 years. We also live in a very trust-centric state. So this is where the world's money comes to. So my little trust is very, very simple compared to the multi-billion-dollar trusts that come here from everywhere else. But
I'm sure.
We're kind of trust-centric here.
But
I mean, the estate planners, I'm looking at some of the books on Amazon. It's like, I'm dead, now it's your problem. That's one of the books you can buy. I'm dead and I'm still telling you what to do. That's another book they're $10.
Oh yeah.
It just checks the boxes.
The funeral homes have lots of information. If they're good funeral homes, they have a lot of things that cover a multitude of things you need to have. You could stop
funeral
buying.
Homes are also a business too. So
yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot of things out there that just aren't covered in funeral homes because it's not conducive to their business models. So I like to say approach that with a certain distrust.
Well, I'm assuming, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know this, not dealt with a lot of funeral homes. I don't know. But I'm assuming that they're like funeral homes have a reputation, right? Or an online reputation, if you will, if they've been bad or they've messed people up. I would assume that would be out there, and to do a little research ahead of time is probably
research is good. Research is always good.
But if you buy a policy, or if you buy, like my stepdad bought his when he retired from the Secret Service, and over the years between when he retired and when he actually passed, that place kind of took a dive. So it was not great. We had a great contract, but they kind of forgot him a few places when it was kind of awkward. Like, where's Gene? Oh, his ashes were, he's still on the stage. We got to go get him.
Oh no.
Because that was just, there's little things like that. I mean, some are better than others. There's also out here, especially in the Midwest, where there's a funeral home. You try and have one in a town. Sometimes you kind of get what you get. And for a while, they're the best place to score meth was the same place that was burying everybody's grandma.
Oh no.
Or there's been horror stories where they've been selling the bones to a company.
I've heard that. Yeah.
They're selling your body to somewhere. Your cadaver.
Just be aware.
I saw, and I don't know how true it is, but it was on social media, so there's no telling if it was true or not. But there was a mom that took her son to a museum, and it had like a skeleton type of thing, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but a former person that was there, and there was something that person had that she recognized, and she was like, "Hold on a second, that's my dad. He's supposed to have been cremated or whatever." And so throughout the thing, eventually it came out that that person was sold, and it was black market type stuff, but. I don't think the museum that had him knew that necessarily, but it was very weird. Like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. Could have just been some stupid story that I saw, but I have no idea.
There are, if there's something weird, it probably happened somewhere sometime.
Yeah.
To someone.
Usually in Georgia. Usually in Georgia. We just point that right at Georgia.
That's the next place my wife wants to go visit.
Nice. Man, that's
she
awesome.
said it was so beautiful when she went down there years ago.
Really? Mike's out in Georgia, isn't he?
I know, that's why I said it. Yeah. He's not here, so I could take my shots when I can.
You can pick on him right now. He's not here to defend himself, so
Shot over. Shut up.
Don't worry, he'll watch. Actually, he doesn't even watch our podcast, so it's all good.
No, but I mean, what you're saying is exactly right. But at the same time, it's frustrating as hell because you got to have the conversation, and then there's also the plan, and somebody's like, well, I think I'm going to do it this way instead, which just shoves that thing right off the rails.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'd also recommend you write your own a bit. That's a good thing.
Yep, that's it. Absolutely.
AJ and I were talking about during my time, but I'm like, I can't tell you how many times I hear about Lance Colonels in the Marines. I think he was a Lance Colonel. I mean, it's just a reoccurring theme. They'll just make shit up. And some of these obits are just so like, who wrote this, man?
I'll tell you one thing. If you now,
right,
I'm the older Chat GPT generation, right? I like the Chat GPT. Other people like all the other AI stuff, but Chat GPT will do really good, man. You put all your information in there, and it'll come up with an obituary that's like superstar. It'll make it.
You know what? Even the stuff that we have, for example, my walls are filled with plaques and certificates of merit, and from when I taught at Penn State, or when I had my own company, or from the Marine Corps, or from my tours in Vietnam, or from my fighting for legislation. You know, they have to decide who wants anything, if they want any of it, or just to burn it all. There's a picture on my wall, though. You probably can't see. It's right here. It's one that my son did in charcoal of me in Vietnam at Quai Son.
Oh, wow.
And he redid it on a wall. And it's approximately, I want to say, 3 feet high by 6 foot wide.
Holy cow.
And we're going to donate it to a veterans.
Like a veteran home or something?
Yeah, like a museum or veterans museum that we visited. So, and then my wife has all the letters I ever wrote her, where are they going to go, and stuff like that. So, things that you have to think about.
Absolutely. I will say that for at least Marines and, anybody that was attached to Marines, right? The Marine Corps History Division does accept pretty much anything. They will take it, like if you served and you have letters, you have pictures, you have whatever, and you send it to them, they're going to archive them. They're going to use them. And in fact, the Marine Corps Museum is constantly going down and saying, hey, we need pictures of this, or we need information on this. And they're pulling that information from the archives that people have sent in. So you never know. You never know when that stuff will, just like these podcasts, right? We're sending those up there. You never know when somebody may pull them out and be like, hey, this is this benefits and talking about this, that the discussion we're having tonight is the one thing they need to put up somewhere. So you never know.
So in Wisconsin, they get the University of Wisconsin, Madison. They get the State Veterans Museum, and it's actually in the River Bend in Madison. But that is like the biggest repository for everything from Wisconsin. So everything from like yo-yo cords to decks of cards. You guys are just dropping off everything. They scan it, attach it, tag your name to it, and actually kind of put your time frame on it. But there are a lot of states that are actually stepping into this too, because it's a history division piece, and they're archiving it the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm going to ask that if you really, really, really want your stuff to be taken care of, don't drop it off of a VFW or Legion, because it gets put in boxes and it's not the best place. Just going to say that. Talk to him at least, instead of just the family dropping off 4 boxes of stuff. Like, here's that stuff. Have fun with it. Like, wait, what? Or don't put it online, because a lot of families are selling this stuff too. We're starting to see like Purple Heart citations, Silver Star citations, Bronze Star write-ups, and they're online. They're on eBay. It's just kind of gross.
Yeah, and I would say it depends on the object, like the old Eagle Globe and anchors and stuff like that. I know a lot of people collect that type of stuff.
I'd love to get those, but
what's that?
I'd love to get a hold of them, but
there's some pretty interesting stuff out there like that. K bars that people have, those types of things.
Well, the bolos that you have, those are. Every once in a while they'll pop up.
That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, that thing is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting uniforms donated all the time. We have we got one hanging on the wall, and it's 3rd Infantry Division from World War I, when they put the Rock of the Marne. They put the rock on the Marne. Actually, it's nuts. But you try and save it as best you can, but it's still fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah. But uniforms, they're hard to maintain, hard to save, and everybody comes a uniform expert when they walk through. I'm like, that's cool.
Oh, you know what? For anybody out there, if you have uniforms and you're like, I don't know what to do with these uniforms, there is a guy down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Oh man, what was that dude's name?
The Dover Details, the project.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The Dover Detail. He takes the uniforms and puts them together and everything for to put with the family members that passed away or whatever. Oh. So if you want to donate uniforms, that's a fantastic place to donate uniforms.
And accessories, because I have a box of stuff I'm getting ready to send.
Absolutely.
We're actually putting together a box and just ship it to Florida because our guy's like, I don't know what to do with this stuff. I'm like, well, let's put a box together and send it.
And
my wife's really happy about that.
You know? And he does incredible work, you know, sending that stuff out and getting it. And he does almost overnight type of stuff. You know, maybe not that fast, but it's pretty quick that he can get stuff out to people. You know, and he's a great individual. We've had him on before, but yeah, the Dover Detail. I don't have the website or anything in front of me, but the Dover Detail.
Well, tomorrow, as I mentioned to you, that I'll be involved in a podcast, and it's with, his name is Michael Archer, and he was at Quezon. He wrote a book called A Patch of Ground, Quezon, and he was there 68 at the same time I was. So I'll be involved in that podcast with him. It's on the Veterans Broadcast Club in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Just, you know, VBC. It starts at 7:30. I think it's from 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 9. And he's going to talk about his book and about his time in Quezon in 68 during the 70, you know, we had the 77-day siege there at that time. So, you know, it's good to share information. This way we know what's happening. And if people are interested, they're interested. If they're not, they're not. That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. The doverdetail.org is the website, but you can go there and get the information on where to send it and those types of things. Sorry, I was since I talked about it, I figured I'd look it up real quick. But anyways, individuals down there are doing some fantastic things. And if you can send your uniforms, like anything like that, you don't want it anymore, that individual down there, he'll take them for sure and put them to good use. So anyways, the doverdetail.org for everybody out there. Oh man. Well, Jim, I always enjoy you coming on here. I have a good time with you.
Thank you.
So
Vic, you've been quiet.
He's trying to catch up on his sleep over there, I think. You know?
Yeah. I'm taking it all in. I've been considering for the last couple of years of putting together some type of 3-ring binder for my wife, and this just kind of nails it home. Apparently, it may turn into a 4-inch stack of paper. I'm not sure. But it's something I've been thinking about doing. We do have a financial planner, and we've talked to each other about what we want and what we don't want. So it's we just need to put it down on paper, and I need to collect all the stuff that you're talking. I mean, some of the stuff is obvious, you know, all the insurance policies and all the passwords to all the stuff, you know, but like some the indemnity thing, I didn't even know about that, you know, so there's stuff that I need to put together. And Jess, I think I might get one of those books off of Amazon. The other thing I'm scared about is my in-laws have a 180-acre farm, and my wife is an only surviving child, so it's coming to us. And I'm trying to talk mom and dad in, you know, they're in their 80s now, so it's tough because they grew up in a generation where they don't talk about things, you know, so trying to get them to talk about the farm and what are we going to do with it. And it's scary because the last thing the farm is a century farm. It's been in the family for over 100 years, for like 106 years, 107 years now. And it's coming to us, and I don't want to have to break up the farm to pay for the death gratuity tax. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I talk mom and dad into, you know, putting it into a trust, you know, and dad just doesn't want to talk about it. So it's, we're going through that right now. So
wow, that's a tough bean to crack.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking legacy stuff for, you know, when it's
That's
legacy,
really
you're
tough.
attached to it, right?
Yeah.
No matter what, you want to hold on to it. And so it's tough. That's a tough conversation, man.
Yeah, I mean, and neither one of us are farmers, so it's not like we're going to move back to the farm and take over farming it. So it's the best I can think of is like renting the farm out to corporate farmers and the land, and I don't even know about that yet, but there's so many things. But one of my good friends from college, he's basically a farmer's banker. He's the CEO of a bank that's in the middle of farm country in Nebraska, or I'm sorry, in Kansas. So I'm like, dude, I'm going to be leaning heavily on you. He's like, don't worry, man, I got you. So I at least I know somebody that knows kind of what to do about it, but I'm like, just trying to get mom and dad to talk about it is tough. So
there's also CRP, crop rotation programs. And I think that's one of those things that's really interesting, especially in Iowa, is they put it back to nature. And that's something that a lot of smaller farms are looking at up here too.
Okay.
Wow.
Then you can actually start throwing like beehives on it and stuff like that, because the beehives are getting nuked by agrochem. So there's a lot of different things you could do, especially if you don't want to deal with leases and interesting things. You can put it in some type of a natural program.
That's interesting.
We did a lot of before I left the Marines. Actually, one of the jobs I had was we were barbed wire fencing, and there was a lot of ducks unlimited and just all these sloughs that had to get like fenced. They weren't doing boundary markers for them. So you want to get strong, fast, fence through a slough in the middle of August before you get ready for boot camp. Your immune system gets really hard too. But there's a lot of things you can do that just don't they're atypical of farm operations. So different options. But I don't know, something to think about, especially in Iowa, because every agrible inch is getting nailed down with corn at this point. So
yeah,
I don't know.
And there's a pre-Civil War farmhouse on the property, and a barn that's starting to do this thing. But like the center beam of the barn is like this big around.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, there are people that will pay you to come repurpose your barn. They'll pay you $30,000, $100,000, however much, to take your barn down so they can take the wood away and resell it. So I don't know if that's the fate for the barn yet, but it's
well, the house would be cool if you could get it redone.
Yes, they literally have the barn shored up against the cistern right now.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, Dad, you I mean, it's not going to be worth to anybody if it falls down.
Yeah,
that's one derecho away from becoming a giant pickup sticks mess.
Yeah. Yeah, but and then the house, nobody's lived in the house in decades. I don't think anybody's lived in the house in 30 or 40 years. But Dad still goes out to the farm every day just so like scalpers don't come out or scrappers don't come out and like take all the original fixtures out of the house, take the original copper out of the house. It's like he goes out there every day. Every day. Yeah, I'm like, God bless, man. So like we have no intention of moving back to Iowa, and when he can't go out to the farm every day, what's going to happen to the farmhouse? I have no idea. It's scary. Yeah. It's intimidating.
A lot of those out here, and this is where they become like, and this is abandoned farmsteads. They bulldoze them and burn them. They put them in a giant pile and burn them out, because if they collapse, and now you got any type of basement foundation problem like that, it becomes like a natural hazard.
Yeah.
And then you got to pull like some kid out of a well and turn it into like a CBS mini story.
I'm pretty sure that story was written about Mark up in Iowa when he was growing up. Got caught up in a well or something. I don't know.
we all have
right,
stories
Mark?
up here. Yeah. An abandoned well. No, but I've seen a lot of them get burned up out here. But the reclaimed wood, there's such a huge weird market for that stuff too, especially depending on what type it is.
Yeah, we haven't watched the series for a while, but I want to say about 2 years ago we were watching weekly or about this company who would go out to look for old barns and everything else. And they would pay Yeah, his name was Mark or something. He had a guy who was really good on the bulldozer and the lift and everything else, and they would pull out, mark each piece, and then pay X amount of dollars for it and everything else.
My
And
grandpa
it's
used to do it.
storing it. Some of it were used in new houses, or
Oh,
people
wow.
who wanted a cabin built.
What's that Waco, Texas couple that does the ship laugh crap all the time?
No. This was a
No. I know what you're saying, but there's like a whole like design element from reclaimed barns that they put this in all the new decorative houses.
I mean, it is pretty cool. I mean, you see some of that, the older wood or the older fixtures or whatever in the houses. It's pretty neat in my opinion.
The house is beautiful. I mean, it's made out of 18-inch stone bricks, so all the window seals are 18 inches deep. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Wow. As soon as you open the door, there's this giant staircase that goes upstairs. I mean, it's a beautiful house. I don't think it would take this old house to come in, and it's not inhabitable anymore.
What part of Iowa is that, Vic?
West Union, Iowa.
Oh, West
Northeast.
Union?
Yeah, Northeast.
Yeah, I know it. I'm right near there from West Union. You'd think maybe, at that house, one of the Amish communities probably take that and move it. If it's that old built like that, where it's all solid.
Yeah.
It's stone?
It's stone, yeah.
They're not picking shit up.
Bricks, yeah. And I think I told you previously,
okay.
Yeah.
I
think I mentioned previously, like a pig farm moved in next door. So it smells like pig shit all the time now. So nobody wants to move in there.
Just put a moat around it and call it a castle, man. Just Game of Thrones. There you go. Call it Winterfell.
Yeah, Winterfell.
Defend against the White Walkers in Illinois.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Wisconsin come invading. No, but I mean, those old stone houses are great. The problem is they have this thing called a wooden roof, and that sucks because that's the first point of failure all the time.
Yeah, they put a metal roof on it, and they changed the boiler out about 12 years ago, something like that. So they keep it climate controlled.
No kidding.
Dad
Wow.
just had all the eaves and soffits replaced and redone. Because
so he's actually doing stuff with it. It's not just sitting there.
Yeah, but it's only to basically he's just putting band-aids on it. He's just putting band-aids on it.
I see.
Nobody's living in it, and it's not inhabitable. Like the staircase, we went up and down the staircase, and I'm like, I'm not sure how many years is left in the staircase. It might be weeks. I don't know that I would feel safe going up that staircase again.
My great grandparents' old farmhouse up in on the state line in North Dakota, South Dakota. That was like an amazingly done woodwork, and it's on a timer. I hate to say it. It doesn't matter how much effort, work you put into it. It's on a timer.
Yeah.
But stone, it's still got wood in it.
Yep.
It's fun.
So
the East Coast.
My mother-in-law, like she loves like the Amana colonies, all the steaks and stuff that they have, right? And so she like, I don't know, a couple times a month, I think she or at least a few times a year, she's ordering these Amana steaks and Omaha steaks and all this kind of stuff. And my dad does not want to throw away all the styrofoam coolers that they come in. So in the living room of the farmhouse, Dad has created a Mount Sarabachi of styrofoam coolers. So you walk into the farmhouse, take a left in the living room, and there's this giant like I don't know, poltergeist mound of coolers in the living room.
That's awesome.
If you ever get a chance to go to the Amana colonies, I'd highly recommend.
Yeah, I've been. Dude, I love it. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful place.
When was the last time you were back there? If you get a chance, there's like the Hotel Millwright. And
probably like 15 years ago.
If you haven't been back in a while, there's a Hotel Millwright. They're amazing. They took the old Amana colonies like textile mill and they turned it into a hotel.
Oh wow!
And every room is its own little thing. You go spend a weekend there, pretend you like dandelion wine because it tastes like piss. I don't know. They are so proud of it.
You said pretend like you like it.
This is really gross, but I know you guys are really into it. But the butcher shops, they're amazing. I mean, it's just a bounce around. They got a really good bar restaurant across the street from it, but the Amana colonies are something else. And I like,
very cool.
Spend a weekend there. It's a great little anniversary getaway, and especially in the summer, they do like just down the road from Field of Dreams. So we watch Field of Dreams on the side of the hotel that we're staying in. Is like filmed just down the road from it. So it's fun.
That's cool.
If you haven't been to the Amana colony.
You know, I love that they brought the major league teams in to play once a year there.
Next year they're only going to have one major league team, and then the Twins, and that's the best farm team in baseball. So,
well, gentlemen, I have to be leaving. So,
well, Jim, thanks again for coming on and doing this. For everybody out there, before you take off, Ulinski705@gmail.com. If you shoot that email to him, he'll be able to shoot you that list. But thanks for putting together a list, and then thanks for making us think about it. That's awesome. Thanks, Jim.
Always welcome. Glad to participate. Thank you,
Jim. Absolutely. I just sent you an email a little while ago. Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. You take care.
All right, Semper Fi.
Thank you, everyone.
But shoot, I was going to say something. I don't remember what. Totally slipped my mind. Well, we can start wrapping it up. You guys got anything else you want to talk about here?
No? I don't know, man. It's we've been talking about death all night long.
Mark's been quiet all night. All right, what did you guys think of my intro?
I loved it.
I think like it?
Right between the head.
It's a good upgrade.
I missed it. I was getting something to drink when you were running it. Sorry.
I think the rebrand works for everything because honestly, you hit it between the eyes when it comes to it's a repository of information.
Yeah. You know what? ChatGPT is way smarter than me, and I just ask it questions, and it always compliments me, which I appreciate. I put a question in, and it says, "That's a great question. Thanks for asking that question." It takes a genius to ask a question like that. I don't know if your ChatGPT talks to you like that, but mine has to build me up my confidence. So
the design part of that is what's fun. And we keep, all right, I'm not joking. We always get smacked around by the Marine Corps because they're like, you can't use the eagle of an anchor. All right, what are we supposed to do? It's a Marine Corps league. I can't. But we threw it together, and one of our guys is really getting into it, and he threw together our new logo, and I'm digging it. So it's Mount Rushmore, eagle and anchor, and then our detachment number.
That's cool.
He's just doing this. It's working now. There's an eagle, an anchor. We just got rid of the globe. So come at us, copyright division.
I don't even understand why they get so upset about it. It's not like you're out there making tons of money off of this stuff.
I'm making tens of money. It's tens.
Yeah, tens of money. Rolling in tens of money.
We're making dimes of money. That's what it is. That's what
dimes of money, baby.
We're giving it all away. So I mean, chill out, man.
I don't know, man. I guess it's a good thing to copyright that. Because you don't want the Army to try to steal it, right? You don't want that. And I understand it. But at the same time, we're talking the Marine Corps League. You would think that little grace there would be nice, but whatever.
Well, we put our stuff on Redbubble and got smacked around by that too. AI caught us on that too because we're using the eagle and the anchor, and we're making T-shirts and stickers to hand out at air shows to the kids and stuff. And they're like,
"I'm pretty lucky. I haven't been challenged, we'll say, with that yet. So I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure I do something stupid, but." Speaking of, we've got some great products out there. If you go to the website, you can go get you something cool. In fact, there's a new Chesty Puller shirt out there. So I'm just saying.
Did the family authorize it? Oh my God.
If I must say so myself, it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Good night, Chesty Puller, wherever you are.
That's exactly what it is.
Love it.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see the little logo thing. That's my special surprise at the end of the podcast tonight.
So you don't feel like a boot until you're talking to your old man. It's like he'll just randomly drop and I was like, yeah, Chesty Puller. He was my division commander. I was like, asshole, man. He's like,
that's funny.
Like, hey, that's cool. Thank you. I'll just go grab my boots and go over to the corner and like finger paint for a while or something. I don't know.
Grab my boots and go in the corner.
Finger paint.
That's good.
It's a shiny. But no, it's just yeah.
Oh man. Well, we could start wrapping this up, man. You want to do your book report first?
Ready to roll.
All right.
It is a history book, but it's also a science book, and it confused everybody when it came out. It's called Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond, and it approaches history as a science. It explains how the development of the northern hemispheres was dominant over southern hemispheres because it was wider, and you had crops that worked across the latitudes instead of up and down. So why did northern hemispheres typically colonize southern hemispheres? Because we'd gone through development cycles faster than the southern hemispheres did. So the guns piece, we had technology from cities. The germs was a major determination. So smallpox and plague and everything else. And then it actually goes into talking about how domestication of animals from when you start thinking of southern hemisphere animals. So we're not riding elephants, African elephants, or lions or tigers or bears on my. So, and it talks about how domestication happened. But as a book, it kind of changes how we do things and how we think about things. So if you get a chance, it can be very tough read, but it's very interesting from a science aspect. And it also explains a lot of things.
What's the name of it again?
Guns, Germs, and Steel. And it was a Pulitzer Prize winning book.
Guns, Germs, and Steel.
Yep.
You turn it sideways there because that's pretty thick book, man.
Nah, it's average.
Baby's got back, if you know what I'm saying. It's
thick. 400 pages. So it's 470
if
pages.
It's not 100 pages, man. I can't hang, you know.
That's a fucking pamphlet. Grow up.
That's
the same message Garcia time.
Does that pictures? Yes. Andrew needs pictures.
Yeah, does it have pictures?
Here we go. It does have pictures.
Okay, I can handle it if it has pictures. We're good.
It's got 2 sections of pictures.
2 sections, man. Hey, okay.
It goes through different aspects of.
I'm digging it.
Yeah. But
all right, I can handle
concepts you typically don't think of, like it starts asking questions and it starts writing them in. So melanation of skin, and then yes, it is a science book. It's not the rise and spread of food, farmer power, history's haves and have-nots, the farm and not to farm, lethal gift of livestock. That's an interesting chapter right there. Necessity's mother, evolution of technology, kleptocracy, the evolution of government and religion. I'd highly recommend it. And it's also the revenge of geography. When you start looking at how geography has actually crushed some civilizations and elevated some others.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
But why did the Asia and Europe colonize America, not the other way around? Centuries of evolution and just beating each other down through.
Yeah.
If we hadn't gone through the plague, then we probably wouldn't have colonized. It's just interesting how he approaches it. How China became Chinese, speedboat to Polynesia, how Micronesia, Micronesia, and Indonesia became little jumping off points. Yeah, but hemispheres colliding, Eurasia and Americas compared. But it's a really thick book. I'll give Andrew that, but it took my mom about 2.5 years to read.
Baby's got back, okay? Baby's got back.
Took my mom about 2.5 years to read, but I whipped through it in about a month. So.
Oh my God, dude!
But it's just a Pulitzer Prize book, so it's not garbage.
Very nice.
So
I'm digging
it
it.
approaches history as a science instead of as an art. So
Hey, by the way, did you know there's a new edition of the Marine Corps history book? Did you guys know that?
Nope.
The Macmillan.
It's you can get it online. It's a PDF. You can get it from a PDF, or you can actually go and order one if you want to do that too. But I have a PDF copy of it, so you can. It's the Marine Corps, the official Marine Corps history, something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it, but they updated it with the latest GWAT stuff, which is really cool. So, Mark, you're in it, man. I don't know if you knew that. You are in the new Marine Corps history book. I don't know if it says you by name specifically, but you're in it.
So when I was adding those books to my library on my app, I have 2 copies, and I'm like, they're not the same. They're like 20 years apart. So now I'm gonna have the third copy of this.
Yeah, they just finished.
History keeps happening.
Tag nabbit. History just keeps on coming. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could. It's the Marine Corps History Division, but on their website, I think you can download the PDF on it. Or if you want, I think you can order the book as well. But it's got the latest and greatest. Sorry, I wanted to throw that out there so I sounded just as smart as Jess, but didn't work. Words of wisdom. All right, Vic, what do you got for us, man?
All right. If you're ever afraid to do something, remember that somebody once said in a meeting, let's make a movie with a tornado full of sharks.
5 times they said that.
Oh my God. Now that was some words of wisdom. Mark, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can even come close to that one tonight.
I don't think so.
Man, what do you got for us, Mark?
I guess I'm gonna have to give
Oh, you're muted.
Say it again.
I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
No, you're good. Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Oh, I can't hear him.
You can't hear him? I hear him just fine. Can you hear me, Mark?
I can hear you.
All right, yeah, we're good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give the old since we're talking about dying and everyone old and getting ready for dying. I'm gonna have to give some old man advice.
Oh.
Yep. Never take a sleeping pill and a laxative on the same night.
So true. So true. Yeah. Good advice. Good advice. Or at least wear a diaper, you know.
I can't hear what he said, so all I hear is good advice. At least wear a diaper.
That makes it even better.
I can hear you, Vic.
Gonna have to go watch the podcast so I can hear what he said.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey guys, thank you guys for joining and doing this. I appreciate it. For everybody out there, don't forget, if you want some more information, you want maybe that list of stuff that Jim was talking about, you can always email him at ulinski705@gmail.com, which you can see down below. So don't forget, shoot him an email. He also does the monthly edition that he pushes out. It's like a news update. So he'll push that out as well. So if you want that, let him know that as well in the email, and he'll be able to push that to you. But guys, thanks for coming on. Thanks for doing this. I love you guys. I don't care what Jim says about you. He's not here to defend himself. So I don't care what Jim says about you guys. I still love you. Okay. To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, you need help, anything like that, don't forget that the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988 press option 1. You can always text 838-255 or go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on that chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. The crew cares about you. The entire veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to a buddy you served with, ask them how they're doing. If they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right, fellas, one last time, thank you very much. You guys rock. To everybody out there, stay motivated. Change your socks.
No more 22. honor the journey, and finish the fight.